The morning of March 17, 2026, brought a new, terrifying vibration to the coastal marshes of southern Iran, a rhythmic, heavy thumping that signifies the arrival of the world's most lethal attack platform. The strategic silence of the Persian Gulf has been replaced by the predatory hum of dozens of AH-64E Apache Guardian attack helicopters, working in tandem with the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit, MEU. This combined arms, shock, and awe maneuver has moved the conflict from the abstract realm of high-altitude stealth into the intimate, violent reality of close-quarters combat. In Tehran, the mood has shifted from defiant posturing to genuine, systemic shock as the steel shield of the coast begins to fracture under the weight of American ground and air coordination. The Guardians reach, Apaches over the marshes. The deployment of the AH-64E variant is a specific, calculated choice for this theater. Known as the Guardian, this model is equipped with the longbow fire control radar, which allows a single helicopter to scan, categorize, and prioritize up to 256 moving targets simultaneously. The coastal sweep, flying in hunter-killer teams, the Apaches are operating with total impunity. They are hunting for the IRGC's remaining mobile shore-to-ship missile batteries that have been hidden under camouflage netting and within civilian orchards. Link 16 integration. The shock for Iranian commanders stems from the Apache's ability to see targets detected by F-35s miles away. Using advanced data linking, an Apache can fire a Hellfire Rome missile at a target it hasn't even visually acquired yet, striking with a precision that makes traditional camouflage obsolete. The Marine Hammer, high-speed coastal infiltration. While the Apaches dominate the low-altitude airspace, the Marines of the 26th MEU have begun the process of beachhead stabilization. Utilizing LCAC, landing craft air cushion, vessels, and MV-22B Ospreys, the Marines have bypassed the heavily mined harbors of Bandar Abbas to strike at the soft, logistical underbelly of the Iranian coastal defense network. These aren't just infantry units. They are force-designed 2030 Marines. They have arrived with MESIS, Naval Strike Missile land-based units, which are essentially unmanned trucks capable of firing anti-ship missiles. By deploying these on the Iranian coast, the Marines have effectively turned the regime's own territory into a launchpad for American sea control. The Iranian Navy, or what remains of it, is now trapped in its own ports, unable to challenge the blockade without facing immediate destruction from land-based Marine batteries. The destruction of the Mosquito fleet. One of the primary objectives of this Apache Marine surge is the total liquidation of the IRGC's fast attack boat fleet. For years, Tehran bragged that these swarms of small, explosive-laden boats could overwhelm a U.S. carrier. The reality on March 17th has proven otherwise. The Apache's M2 30mm chain gun, slave to the pilot's helmet-mounted display, has turned the Gulf's tidal inlets into a graveyard for the Mosquito fleet. In a single engagement near the Hormuzgan province, a flight of 4 Apaches neutralized over 20 fast attack craft in under 10 minutes. The Marines, meanwhile, have utilized Javelin missiles and Switchblade 600 loitering munitions to clear any resistance from the piers. The shock in Tehran is driven by the speed with which their primary asymmetrical threat was erased from the tactical map. Psychological warfare, the Grim Reaper effect. There is a specific psychological toll associated with the Apache. Unlike the F-35, which strikes from the invisible heights, the Apache is a visible, visceral presence. It hangs in the air like a specter, its sensors staring at enemy positions from miles away. Intelligence reports indicate that IRGC coastal units are experiencing observation paralysis. Soldiers know that if they can see the silhouette of the Apache, they are likely already being tracked by its thermals. This has led to a cascade of abandonments. Whole platoons of the regular Iranian army have been seen retreating toward the interior, leaving their heavy equipment behind to avoid being targeted by the Hellfire rain. The logistics of the coastal net. The steel bridge has adjusted its flow to support this aggressive forward posture. Huge C-5M supergalaxies are now touching down at secured forward operating bases, FOBs, in the region, offloading the massive amounts of fuel and ammunition required to keep the Apaches in the air 24/7. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has noted that the U.S. is currently operating with a zero-lag supply chain. When an Apache returns to its lily pad to rearm, the munitions are already waiting, delivered by a logistical network that spans from South Carolina to the shores of the Gulf. This industrial endurance is the final nail in the coffin for the regime's hope of a war of attrition. You cannot outlast a force that never has to wait for a reload. A new era of coastal dominance. The mobilization of the Apaches and Marines represents the final closure of the Iranian coastline. By seizing the initiative on the ground and in the low-altitude sky, the U.S. has stripped the Islamic Republic of its last remaining defensive layer. The strategic depth that Tehran once relied upon has been compressed into a narrow strip of contested land where they are outmatched in every technological and tactical category. As the sun sets over the Persian Gulf, the horizon is dotted not with the sails of local trade, but with the menacing profiles of American attack helicopters. The shock felt in Tehran is the realization that the war has moved past the point of negotiation. The Marines are on the ground, the Apaches are in the air, and the steel bridge is feeding a fire that the regime simply cannot extinguish. The 2026 conflict is no longer a matter of if the regime falls, but how fast the American hammer will descend on its final strongholds. This operation demonstrates the absolute evolution of combined arms warfare. By integrating the predatory agility of the Apache with the rugged, high-tech lethality of the Marine Corps, the U.S. has created a kill web that catches everything from a lone sniper to a heavy tank. The regional order is being reforged in the heat of these coastal engagements, and the message to the world is clear. American power is not just a distant threat. It is a present, unstoppable reality on the ground. The strategic implications of this Apache Marine synergy extend far beyond the immediate neutralization of coastal batteries. By establishing these forward-operating kill webs, the U.S. has effectively severed the Iranian military's nervous system, preventing any coordinated response from the interior. The IRGC, once accustomed to controlling the tempo of Gulf escalations, now finds its tactical options reduced to zero. This isn't merely a localized victory. It is the total displacement of the old security architecture. As the Marines solidify their positions and the Apaches maintain their predatory patrol, the logistical steel bridge ensures that this presence is as permanent as it is overwhelming. The regime is no longer fighting a war. It is witnessing the systematic dismantling of its sovereign capacity. The transition to a post-regime reality is no longer a distant projection. It is being carved into the landscape by American rotors and steel.